this is probably going to be quite a quick discussion because A Feeling of Home is exceptionally unmemorable. And that's a shame because I love Hallmark films. And there are only 4 Hallmark films that I have watched and actually actively disliked. Thankfully, this is not one of them. But it's not one that I can really say that much about in terms of positive feedback because I just find it to be very, very boring. And none of the characters were interesting. The action on screen was dull. The settings, the locations were not that visually compelling compared to a lot of similar films. And I just find that it was very dull and unmemorable. It was released in 2019, directed by Richard Gabai, written by Gregg, Rossen, Brian Sawyer and Duane Poole. And this stars Jonna Walsh as our protagonist Abby and Nathan Parsons as Ryan. And the description from IMDb is as follows. Web entrepreneur Abby hides her Texas roots to convince a backer she's from New England, a task complicated by a trip home and an unexpected reunion with Ryan, her high school sweetheart. So Abby is, she lives in New England and she's got this lifestyle blog, mainly about cooking in the kitchen, and her blog is promoting New England authenticity. But that's not true, she's not actually from England, from New England. And she has to go back home to Texas, which makes things a little bit more complicated. When she goes back there, she reacquaints with her high school boyfriend. He makes fun of her for, forgetting how to be a farm girl because she's a city girl now. She's supposed to be helping out her father, who's a little bit run down. He's broken his arm, sprained his arm, I can't remember exactly, but he's out of action. And Abby has to kind of prove herself, that she does remember her roots and that she hasn't forgotten who she is or what her upbringing was, all the while rekindling this relationship with Ryan, her ex. Now, that sounds exactly like every other Hallmark film, and every other Hallmark film tends to be pretty good, but I found with this one I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't really care for their motivations. I wasn't that bothered about whether or not they would rekindle their romance and if it would last. I wasn't that bothered to find out if Abby would get the backing, the financial backing that she's trying to get for her website. I just genuinely did not care. I didn't like any of the supporting characters. I didn't think the narrative development was that great. I really did not like Abby's father. I really did not like him as a character. There is nothing about this that I found engaging or appealing. Again, it's not a film that I hated. I didn't watch it pinpointing things that I actively disliked. But usually with a Hallmark film, there are things that I actually can specify that I liked, apart from those 4, I believe, where I can say that was bad and that was bad. This is fine. It's okay. Would I recommend it? If you like Hallmark in general, I'd say give it a watch just so you can tick it off your list, say you've given it a chance. But if you're not that bothered about Hallmark, it's definitely not a film you need to see. A Feeling of Home is pretty weak and really has nothing special going for it.